out there. That's good. That's good. Well, we might, there might be some sadness. We'll see what everyone brings up. Anyway, I'm going to try to move things really fast because we have not only our open mic tonight, which is only 6 spots, let's run a little bit, but we also have a poetry slam that's going to take the bulk of the evening, and that's very exciting. And you go cheer for the slam real quick. That's good. I think you guys are ready. You're not ready. You're close. You're close. So anyway, we're going to get started with the open mic real quick, and our first open micer is Goryo.
Hello, everybody. So my first name is Tomas, and my last name is Goryo, and that's how I've been branding myself. Oh boy. And I've always wanted to showcase my lyrics, and somebody told me about this poetry night, so this is a more lyric-heavy song of mine. It's called The Painter. Pink lights float along the ocean, silhouettes peaceful on the sand. When all I feel is your heartbeat, neatly guiding my hand. And when the night closes in, you'll feel the warmth this canvas can hold. Oh, when I need to see you, my dreams are more than helpful. In my eyes, your beauty is ever enduring. I can paint for you an ocean of love. I can paint for you. I can paint our love. Paint lights flat along the ocean, reflecting the golden sky. Clouds to provide our shadow, stars to provide our night. We can fill the trees with tangerine, citrus and sweet. Lay next to me until you eat. Oh, when I need to see you, my dreams are more than helpful. In my eyes, your beauty is ever enduring. I can paint for you an ocean of love. I can paint for you. I can paint our love. And now sugar waves behind us cover the sun. It would magnify the rays and the shade is gone. We'll melt right off the canvas, acrylic and all. Into this ocean we dissolve. Oh, when I need to see you, my dreams are more than helpful. In my eyes, your beauty is ever enduring. I can paint for you an ocean of love. I can paint for you. I can paint our love. I can paint for you an ocean of love. I can paint for you. I can paint our love. I can paint our love. I'm painting for you. I'm painting for you. I'm painting for you.
Woo!
Thank you so much.
We don't often have music on this open mic, but that was sure a treat. Oh, also, this is your first time with us. We have a special little thing we do for first-time readers. You're not reading. he's also got a dancer and a drummer now. So like if you get a chance, see him plugged in. It's really good.
Find me
It's on the
online
show.
too. The name is Gorio, Gorrio. You can just Google that and everything will pop up.
Yeah.
I say that to let you know. Feel free to promote yourself. If you have anything going on, let us know. You have a 5-minute time limit. As long as it fits within that, you're good. One other thing I should tell you though, because I forgot to say it earlier, but you did not run afoul of this, so it doesn't matter. If you have any sensitive content, we don't censor anyone here. You are free to say whatever words and things you have in your mind and heart. However, if there's something sensitive, it's very courteous to your audience to let everyone know, like, hey, if you want to step out for this one, you go ahead. Okay, now I've said the thing. We can continue on. Your second reader, Christina Hudson.
Hi guys. I have never read my poetry out loud. This first one doesn't have a title. Trauma pumps through my veins, bleeding out their V-red stains, constantly cracking under pressure, thinking I'm the exception, lesser. I can't hear the voices outside, I think that they lie. How can I change my mind? Does it really just take time? I wish I could get the monsters out of my head. I'm tired of wishing I was dead. Pain that sticks to me, never letting go. I feel so low, so low, so low. Stuck in this rut, I'm always filling my guts. I feel all caged in, like I'm walking in sin. Never enough. Doesn't it feel tough? Live an hour in my head, see if you get out of bed. Feelings you don't understand. Now listen as I break you with my band. Rock on, rock on. The music sets us free. I just wish I could see rock on, rock on.
Yeah.
This one I wrote today for my daughter, the love of a child. All my life I've chased love, wanting nothing more than a partner, someone to choose me first, to love me unconditionally. But then you came along. I wasn't sure what to do. Your little smile made my heart melt. Suddenly, I wanted to be everything for you. Your cheerleader, the shoulder to cry on. I finally wanted to grow, to become more. So I promise, I'll be your mom. I'll love you the best that I can. Now I'm chasing a different love, the love of a child. This one's for my husband. It's called Hero. When I talk, he looks. When I scream, he runs. When I fall, he carries me. That's my hero. That's my man. That's my hero. When I laugh, he looks. When I cry, he's there. That's him, my hero.
Yeah.
I had to wait till you stopped so I could say one more time for a first time reader. First time reading on stage? It's spooky, I know. We've all been there, but great job. We hope to see you again. Okay, your next reader, Paul, is that?
Nauman.
Nauman, thank you.
Hello, my name is Paul Nauman. Since Twitter has been changed in ownership, I have been mostly writing lab reports, research papers, and letterbox reviews. And now poetry. This one is called Turkey Vulture. The last woman I fell in love with wore a long black feather shawl, a blood-red ruff, and she was barefoot. I had seen her on both street corners and rooftops, flighting from and flying to cars and chariot. Like the virgin goddess, though, Artemis kills, skins, and guts her prey. This young lady feasts on flat squirrels, skins and all, chucked by trucks, no dressing needed. How could you not love that? This one is called My Job Search. Here's my most recent resume, name up top, contact info below, updated with my new bachelor's in chemistry. As you can see, I have 15 years in sales experience, which would work well for this company, and since you've asked, I am trying to target an income of $35,000. You say that this position will pay $50,000 to $80,000 after the first year, and the first year-long sales certification I can take online for free. The position is entirely work from home, though you have to drive me to Gunnersville for this interview. After 6 years, I could graduate to a management position, assuming I pay for the subsequent certification classes. The second one is $50, and you want me to write down my references and the contacts for 2 other people who might be interested in this opportunity. Oh, God damn it, this is a pyramid scheme. And now they have my phone number. One more poem after this, and I have just written it, so it is on my phone and not my notebook.
You should.
Okay. Let me mute my phone for the courtesy of the audience. In 79 AD, in a bustling port on the Mediterranean Sea, was the resort town of imperial renown, the city of Pompeii. Ancient cities are often paved over, forgotten over centuries and trade routes and plagues. For the ones under Vesuvius, things went far more fast, run under by an instant, violent pyroblast. A vacation hub turned to mausoleum with instant cremation for the citizen within. These people had much the same worries as us. They worried and thought and felt hunger and lust. If they had understood what the day held, would they have left a different impression? Would they have washed the graffiti from the walls or left their bread in the oven? In an archaeological sense, their tragedy has helped to elucidate the day-to-day lives of a long-lost fate. And though Pliny's letters wrote of an attempted evacuation by military triremes, the ancient city was lost to classical antiquity until its Victorian rediscovery. Those letters and texts were preserved by Christian monks, searching for martyrs while transcribing ancient Latin verse. Letters and scrolls scattered all across Europe and the Middle East, from Lindisfarne to Lebanon, tatters of papers from an old imperial beast. Helpful for context, but far from complete. But now we have the potential for rediscovery in our age, to uncover a trove of text only curated by their authors' contemporaries. With the aid of X-ray CT scans and machine vision, we may now possibly read the carbonized library at Herculaneum. Thank you very much.
Oh, that was your first time as well, wasn't it?
Yes, it was. Thank you.
Yeah!
Lunch with it tonight. Oh, I love it. It's so great. Okay, your next reader on this microphone, Matthew Brown. Hello. I'm going to read some poetry for you guys tonight. I've got 2 notebooks because, I do a lot of writing. This first one is titled A Plinth Caught in Rain. A plinth caught in rain. 5 drops. 1, spiraling down and gracing her cheek, she looks to see the heavens being covered. 2, seeing the cry and sheltering herself from the fall. 3, watching the heavens drench the world in cold. 4, exhaling her breath as it catches alone in the air. 5, watching the call unroll from the heavens as she clutches the cross. A plinth crying in rain. This other one does not have a title because titles are hard. In the rich velvet blooms, under the convents of our own accord, we lay blanketed in soul light, beholden to our life and spirit, laying restless, drowned in blanket sheets. I could hear you, feel our union, taking each other in and flowing out with the tide, the light getting lost in our sheets. This I hold in my head, a scene depicted in sluggish ecstasy, imagined, talked and dreamt, poured into me as watering fresh gardens.
I wish to hold you, feeling your claim to womanhood, growing the lamplit nights into a full moment that entrenches our connection to one another. On and on we stay, clung in heat, lost in the breath of one another, held taut, connecting our roots, souls, minds, spirits, under our own vanities of God, heaving into you the sweat from passion sticking to your skin as yours sticks to mine, in control of the beauty, creating art in nothing creation, as we hold so tightly, expunging in the final moments as we peak the top, releasing our hold from passion. I wash you with your colors and you become as you were. As we climbed down in cold contempt, I get refolded into tenderness, just laying breath on breath, head rested shoulders, praying for my wickedness and realizing the beauty of our moment, made in head under God.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I think this is a first for Out Loud HSP, but all 4 of our first readers were new readers. So one more time. I personally hope to see all of you again at our next open mic, which will be 2 months from now, not 1 month. More on that later. But I think we're done with the double round of applause now, because your next reader has definitely been to a few of these. Maya.
I'm Maya. This is a prose piece. It's an excerpt from a novella that I've been working on. Mary walked home slowly. Oh, it does talk about sex. It is kind of a sex scene, but that's kind of normal for my content, I think. Mary walked home slowly, enjoying the warm evening air that smelled of gardenias and hot concrete, and replaying her conversation with Maribel over and over in her mind. She breathed deeply, trying to rid the scent of sweat and vodka from her nose. As she walked, she looked in her neighbors' windows, seeing them sitting on couches and reading, laying in front of a blaring television, washing up from dinner, scooping ham and green beans from Pyrex pans into Tupperware. She passed the Connor house, all its windows dark except the one farthest from the door, on the opposite side of the girl's room. A feeling of curiosity rose in her, remembering the blue juice cup and its unidentifiable liquid, the vivid pink of the lipstick and the heavy brownness of the room. She looked around and ducked under the water oak and into the yard. She came to the window and pressed herself against the clapboard siding, peeking around the windowsill to look in. The room glowed blue with the last light of the wet day. A small island of warm yellow light came from the paper-covered lamp at the bedside table. Their bodies moved between the yellow shore and the blue-gray waves. Lillian's body, which usually seemed so small and fragile in oversized cotton-printed dresses, now looked strong and firm. Her arms were slender but corded with sinuous muscles that bunched in hard shapes around her shoulders and down the center of her back. Her ankles were thin and bony, remnants of many ballet injuries from her youth. But her thighs were broad and fleshy, crisscrossed with pale stretch marks and rounded with strength. She straddled Zachariah's massive form. Her white blonde hair was pushed back from her face and streamed down her like sunshine. Her face, devoid of its usual curtains, now appeared more rounded, her chin much sharper, her throat longer, and though her eyes were still wide and wet, they flashed with excitement. Mary Law could see the quiver of her thighs as she raised and lowered herself on Zachariah. At the place of their union, their flesh and pubic hair became indistinguishable, hers as dark and curled as his. Both exposing their pink and secret places was shown wet with excitement. Her hand slid up his chest and wrapped around his thick, sunburnt throat, the thumbs meeting just beneath his Adam's apple and tightening. Mary could see the skin of his throat turn white where the blood left, and red where it welled up. His eyes widened and rolled back in his head, his lips parting and gasping. His hands, large and callous, ran down her arms, leaving red scratches nicking her skin in little places. They moved down to rub small circles against her crotch, and her head went back, her hands leaving his throat to support her as she leaned and moved herself against him. His hands slid up to the swell of her hips and curve of her waist, and as they moved, it displaced the sweat of her skin and flowed down, began to soak him. He raised his hands to her breast and sat up slowly, attempting not to disturb the rhythm of her movement against him. He cupped her small breasts with their upturned brown nipples and leaning down, took the right one in his mouth, moaning around it. His eyes rolled back in his head as he kissed and licked from her breasts, up her chest, from throat to her ear, breathing raggedly into her soft hair. They moved faster, jostling together, their brows furrowed, almost in pain. As they quickened, the air grew restless. The sheets beneath them began to shift and writhe, and their forms were lifted into the air, entwined and pressing into each other. Little droplets of sweat made its way down their backs and mingled on their ass cheeks before dripping onto the bed. They kissed, their hands moving across each other's back hair, twisting, moving faster and faster before they suddenly froze, pressing together and groaning, screaming through gritted teeth in an attempt to keep their love-making secret. They collapsed upon the bed, a tangle of wet and glittering flesh and sweat-soaked hair, and Zachariah kissed the crown of Lillian's head, and she smiled softly, her eyes clear and bright. Mary slid down the side of the house. The place between her legs hummed and trembled. It bade her to touch, to feel, to run her fingers across her crepe-skin thighs. She stood and ran home, her knees quaking as she went, her body screaming to her to hurry. Not noticing, Lillian and Zachariah turned towards the window at the sound of her rustling. Thank you.
Oh man, I love when someone can slip like ass cheeks into a very serious thing. It didn't kill the moment at all. It's like yes. Well, a treat. A treat of words. Your next reader, your last reader on the open mic before we transition into the competitive emotions of poetry slam is Grace.
Maya, oh my god. That's my son's kindergarten teacher. So last year everything that I read was about religion, and this year everything that I read is about divorce, so.
Is that the first poem?
That's a haiku. Don't waste my time. This is called Murmur. In my dreams, there are starlings, whole murmurations casting a wide shadow across the sky, and somehow caught in it a woman, naked, the starling's feathers peeling her skin layer by layer until she is nothing but blood and pain. I am watching it all from a window, that moving black shadow ominous against a sky so saturated with blue, I know it can't be real, and I know I am not either. I am awake before it ends, a pool of blood between my legs, some small death staining my sheets, a twist of pain that men want me to believe is small, but it is the largest sensation my body has ever known, and I might as well be covered in feathers, and I am blood, and I am pain, and I am real.
Yeah.
This is called When I Am Without My Children. I am the empty spaces between fingers, nothing but air and skin, thin and stretched tenderly over sinew and bones, held together but only just. There is an aching, something pinched in a drawer closed too quickly, a toe stubbed on the corner of a coffee table you have known for years and continue to forget. It is March and the mornings are foggy, like me. The air grows heavier, like my son, who is now 6 and still wants to be carried to bed. like my son who is 3 and still wants to sleep clinging to my belly. Like bags of groceries I lace over my hands, zipping up some quiet wound with busy, busy, busy. There are weeks now when I sleep soundly and miss the night wakings unexpectedly, just as every grandmother told me I would, only she did not warn me it would come so soon, when they are still so small, when it is not that the wakings have stopped, but that I am not there to hold them. Thank you.
Yeah.
This one is called Contested. The urgency, it's like a knife. The kind I do not let my children use. The kind that whistles on its way through the air. My eye has stopped twitching, which is a thing that speaks for itself, but there are still bruises under my skin. Where? All the most tender places. Grief throwing me onto a bed like the lover I have always wanted, leaving nothing but a soft depression in his pillow. He is never there when I wake, but the smell of his body coats the sheets like smoke, and I would know it anywhere. He is a shadow, long in the late afternoon, and chasing me home on my heels like a stray dog I gave a treat to only that one time, and he barks and barks and barks when I close the door, and all I hear is the soft murmur of my children waiting for me. Mom, I love your face. Mom, I love your hair. Mom, I love your tattoos. Mom, will you smile? Yes, always yes. Just let me spit out the blood first.
Yeah.
I think that's a very good transition to a competitive poetry.
Yeah.
Woo! All right,
Yeah.
so that's it for our open mic. Don't leave, because we're doing the poetry slam now. We haven't done one of these in years, so this is pretty exciting for all of us, I hope. Those of us who have been to some of these and those of us who haven't. If you are a new reader on the slam, I don't know if you have, but I'm not going to give you a double applause thing. Because one thing about slams is I'm not biasing the judges. So we have 5 judges out here in the audience. They have whiteboards. They're going to give us scores from 0 to 10 on all of these poems. Those scores can have 1 decimal place, so to the 10th. Judges, you're not allowed to be biased by the audience. Audience, try to bias the judges.
Yeah.
If you think something really killed, let them know. If they give a score that you don't agree with, let them know. Judges, I hope your skin is thick. I want these people to let you know what's in their hearts. So there are going to be 3 rounds. We have 8 people in the first round. After the first round, so after each poet, we're going to get 5 scores. We will drop the lowest score, drop the highest score. So those 3 in the middle, that's going to be their total score for that poem. At the end of the first round, we'll tally up all the scores, and the 2 lowest scoring people will be removed. We'll go to the next round with 6 poets. Same thing will happen again. 4 poets in the final round. At the very end, the 3 top scorers, please stick around and talk to us, because we need to get your email addresses, because they're going on to bigger and better and very special events. And the top scorer is going to get $50.
Yeah.
So hang around. If you're the top scorer, give us your PayPal, please, because we've got to sort that out. Okay, yeah. So, judges, if you would really quick, please go ahead and raise your whiteboard so that I know where to look for you guys. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. Grace, can I ask you a special favor? It's really hard to see them back there because it's dark. If you want to step forward when you score and show us, that's cool. Or I don't want to make you move, but cool. I think that was a thumb. I hope it was up. That one was not a thumb. Anyway, okay. So other things I need to tell you. Oh yeah. Poetry slams were invented in 1980s to draw attention to the art of performance poetry. They elevated poetry to a competitive format. You have 3 minutes. 3 minutes or less, no props. If you gesture to anything on your person, that counts as a prop. You'll be penalized. Those 3 minutes, you get a 10-second grace period there, but after that, you're going to be docked points. Judges, don't worry about docking those points. Our scorekeeper will do that for you. God, we haven't done one of these in a while. I'm not sure.
You're doing so good.
Thanks. I don't believe you.
I mean it.
No.
You're doing a great job.
Okay. Yeah, the really important thing. So I mentioned we needed a sacrificial poet. This is why. Judges, they don't have any basis for their scoring yet. So our sacrificial poet is our brave friend Josh here, who's going to read a poem so that the judges can make a first score and calibrate their scoring for the rest of the time. So, Josh, if you would come be our sacrificial poet, please and thank you. Yeah, there we go.
Wow. I've been drinking. Catoptromancy. In the cold, gilded eye, he exists in twilight. A corpuscular entity, lost to the waking. He stands amidst a desert, straddling cracked islands, questioning the stability of something so broken. And from his lament he bears 3 besotted imps, feathered and beaked, cawing a breast flesh made ossuary. Look, laugh, gawk at the boy with the raven-corded crown, unaware how close to the grave he stands. Caress his grey cheek, kiss his rot, and warm his touch, while sliding a knife across his gut. Carefully remove his abdomen, swing in his stomach, and debauch his liver. Once sated, hold his battered hands, place thimbles on his tips, but do not teach him to sew. Instead, unspool your thread into small, knotted piles for him to untangle before he can mend. The boy will forgive and forget until the sun is a ghost, a glass memory framed in gold, reflecting fresh wounds and remaining in litany, flayed and stitched, flayed and stitched, flayed, unstitched.
Yeah.
Thank you, Josh, our sacrificial poet. Bravery you've witnessed here. Judges, as soon as you have those scores ready, if you would lift them for me, scorekeeper, I'm going to read those off to you. I have an 8.5, an 8.0, an 8, and that looks like an 8. An 8, and I got nothing, I'm sorry. An 8!
Encourage the decimal point. So that,
I encourage the decimal
so that not all the scores are the same.
So that not all the scores are the
Yes.
same. Yes.
Use it. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, scorekeeper. Do we have a total on that?
24.
24 points. All right, judges, you think you're ready to go here? You think you got your stuff figured out? All right, nice. We're going to get started then. First reader on this slam is Susan.
This is a content warning. This is marksman. What you see, look at your shoes. Now look up to a point about 7 or 3 inches above your knee. This is the height of a first grader. I see them every day. They are not old enough to read. 2 plus 2 and lunch boxes fascinate. They are too delighted with the hallway or simple motion to walk in a straight line. Seeing either friends or paint brings giggles and wishing to jump up and down or skip. He stood 20 first graders against a coat wall and riddled round after round with an assault rifle that measured longer than they measured tall and cut them down. What did they think? What did they see? Did he sweep back and forth or linger so that in seconds dozens of bullets could not just lodge in each, but tear apart skin, bone, heart? The blood was so great, no one could look. Was the capacity high and fast enough to cut 26 lives off so that the last few in line didn't see what was coming? Were they scared? And the teachers, who you insist on binding to testing you couldn't pass, on whom you looked down, won't fund, or let teach in their own wisdom and calling. Do you know they were found dead atop their students? They put themselves in front of the children, so forensics tells. And now old white men are about to fight to be able to hunt with 30 rounds a second and no aim. No one hunts with an assault weapon. What I see? God's blood, and I cease to pray in blindness.
Yeah.
Judges and the scores are ready. Can you lift them up for me? I see a 9.3, an 8.7, a 7.4, a 6.5, and a 9. Thanks. If you could just keep doing that. While we're tallying that up, let me go ahead and tell you the things that I need to tell you between things. We're thankful for Straight Tail for providing this space for us. So, round of applause for Straight Tail. You know what's better than applause, though? Tipping your bartender, because they're here helping us out, making sure everything's all good and you guys are getting all the things you need. Be sure to do that. I think we have a score.
25.1.
25.1.
Yeah.
Please do that. Your next reader is Vander.
Real quick sound check. I don't like mics. Y'all can hear me?
Yeah.
Good? All right. So, you know, I'm pretty sure that the Earth existed before humans did. So how do they just assess and decide ownership? It is stolen power. And through its accordance, they devise our borders and set coordinates. But I will always argue their orders. I am insubordinate. Because I'll respect their authority. All the disproportion, it's incredible. Because if it's only based on indulgence, then it isn't credible. Now see, that in itself should be more than enough proof for y'all, because see, most consumers can't even stomach any food for thought. Now look, I know it's a mouthful, but don't spew it towards me. If you can't digest the condition, bulimia shouldn't force thee. But then of course we bite more than we can chew to fill this void in our cavities. Look, I'm always filling large in intestine capacity. So in one perspective, that's a flaw that you can take from me. But how are you supposed to go about life if you went hungry? I mean, real talk, that's part of the blueprint of the human mind. Because progress can only happen if you decide. Shit, even a crackhead will look for dope all day just to use the pipe. But see, my observations comes not from an intrusive eye. I just know firsthand that life can show its more brutal side. Like, you ever been in danger and you don't know if you'll survive? See, these are all a different expression of do or die. From imminent danger to profit gains, and it's all inclusive, right? Well, who defines it? Because we've got business that depends on people that are food deprived. I'm going to say that again. We've got business that depends on people that are food deprived. And then they got the nerve to say that life is what we make it. And that's a stupid lie. Now, I mean, it's kind of true, but like, you know, sometimes life will dish a plate with a combination of soup and pie. I fucking hate pie. But metaphorically speaking, you know, people do love soup. And the same can be true for pie. but it becomes less about the taste when the two combine. And you should keep this in mind because, you know, life is seemingly random as fuck. But there are no accidents. Y'all ever have something really inconvenient happen and be like, I didn't ask for this. You know? Like, I didn't make this fucking cat jump out and cause me to crash a fence. You know what's crazy? I don't even know the one guy that I've ever had a clash against. But it was just like that cat. I crossed paths with his, with no past offense. But see, I put the ass into being passive. It's a new form of pacifist, because I had to go to war that day, but didn't have to pass a fist. That is called being compassionate, but not taking a pass for shit. And all this to say, life is a continuous happening, and we like to look for what's wrong with it. We'll spend more time trying to control an outcome instead of how we respond to it.
Yeah.
Judges, what do you have for me? I see a 7.5, an 8, a 9.1, a 9.2.
That's better. 7 was whack. Seconded.
And a 9.3.
Yeah.
While we're waiting for that final total there, let me tell you, if you tip them and you're like, hey, great, I have more money. We have a merch stand here with all kind of stuff in it. It's like we got anthologies that a lot of our writers in this community are published in. We've got notebooks and pens and t-shirts and stuff. It's pretty cool. You should check it out afterwards.
26.3.
26.3.
Yeah.
On this closing plan is Mary.
What's in a name? By Mary Love. Or Mary Catherine Love. Or is it Mary Catherine Pettigrew? Or Mary Mackenzie? Or Mary Pettigrew? Or Kate Pettigrew? No, it's actually by Mary Love. What's your name? Who named you? Are you proud or ashamed or wanting something new? Does it have beauty and grace? Does it make you feel disgrace? What's your name? What do you like to be called? Does it make you cringe or stand in awe? Is it passed down generations or something lost in translation? What's your name? Is it new or old? Is it something to behold? Or is it not to be told? Is it dead or alive? Or does it just survive? What's your name? Was it given in vain? Is it hard to live up to the fame? Do the memories cause you pain? Is it a strong name? Is it a good name? Is it all just a shame? We will love you just the same. Will you love you just the same? Really? Truly? What's your name?
Yeah.
Judges, give me some numbers. I see 8.3? Okay, 8.3, 6.3, 6.3, 6.5.
Jeez,
Let them know.
guys.
Judges stand strong, but audience, let them know.
Oh.
And 7.5. Thank you. While we're waiting on that to tally up, this is going to be a bit of a thing. You know, I'm going to keep on saying stuff. You know, if you have more money left over after you know, tipping your bartender, buying yourself some nice presents here, you can also donate to us. That's pretty cool too. We're a nonprofit. We're like a registered nonprofit. It's a real thing, so we don't make money. So you can do that either in a bucket that you'll see later. Don't worry about it right now. Or you can also donate on our website. And go check out the website. We got a lot of cool stuff on there.
20.3.
20.3. Your next reader is Kimberly.
If I could describe a supernova, at the moment it sprung to life, the imminent buildup, the energy pounding through the twilights, the chemical dance, the sudden inrush, as its molecular coherence was torridly ripped away, and all that was exposed was simply more light, more energy, more heat that screeched its way through the multiverse. If I could describe a supernova so vividly that you could see yourself there, at the cusp of eternal flame, daring to drink despite assured destruction, feeling your physicality give way first in the blast, yet you yield, you lie back, drinking in its unceasing surrender. If I could describe a supernova with my own words, my own voice, and put it into your hands, and then in your pockets, so I could always be with you. If I could describe a supernova so perfectly true that you'd have to believe it was real, despite never sitting on the event horizon with me, I'd only be able to explain but a single moment of what it's like to love you.
Judges, some numbers, please. See, a 7.8, a 7.0, is that right? 7.7, 7.7, and these guys are very thoughtful back here. 7.5. 7.5. So let me tell you about another thing we got going on, because that's my job right now. If you like what we're doing here, you want to be a bigger part of it, you can look into membership with us. We do some special benefits for membership, but I'm going to tell you about those after this, because that gives me another thing that I can use to fill time while we're waiting on this number.
22.9.
22.9. The next reader is Jason.
There are days when I can only lie as big as I can smile, and I can only believe as far as I can reach. So if the best part of belief is the lie inside it, the best part of holding her was the way she smiled. I could teach an entire course on emotional detachment. Lesson 1, review of Stoic philosophy. Lesson 2, saying her name until it is meaningless, until the sounds saturate the air indistinguishable from the breeze. Midterm, saying, I love you. Like it is the only phrase that no longer turns to ash on your tongue. Prove how your mouth can perform ventriloquy with your heart. Lesson 10, surgical excision of any part of you that protests. Lesson 15, crafting a bulletproof vest with whatever you have left. The final, an hour of passionless sex. Punctuated only by grunts, sharp inhales, and bed springs.
Let's go.
My body is less temple, more fortress of solitude. I am a sorry substitute for Superman. Breath only cold enough to freeze my anger. Legs only fast enough to outpace commitment. Can a fortress be a prison if I built it from my bones?
Whoa.
As a shelter. My brain is an emotional Medusa, and I am no Perseus. Motivation has no purchase on the cliffside where my consciousness hangs chained since to an eternity of dispassionate disemboweling. There are no howls of pain. Not here. Not in this geologist's dream of a psyche, memories stratified and sorted, down to the oldest, up to the coldest. I've been told if one digs through enough rock, one can find something molten, so I am digging. Like a shovel is the only thing that doesn't turn to ash anymore when I touch it quietly. So the scrapes might be mistaken for wind in the treetops. I will perform ventriloquy with my own mouth Smiling wide enough to fool anyone, give you a poem only half of me needs you to hear. Blink my Morse code mayday for eyes that can't see me, study hard to fail my classes. And I will keep stretching my arms downward, trying to reach myself, because maybe I can believe in that.
Let's go.
I see a 9.2. I see a 9.6.
Let's
a
go.
9.4.
Come
a
on.
9.4. And a
Yeah.
9.7. So benefits to membership. You can get things like a free T-shirt, which we actually don't have today. So T-shirt Keeper is out of town. We can talk about that. I was going to have to do it, but we don't want to do him. Work is great. But he just has the T-shirts and he's not here. There's that. There's other events, which I'll tell you more about in a second because Robert's looking at it.
28.4.
28.4. The next reader in this slam is Timothy.
The other day I was packing and putting away some boxes. I had just moved and I was going through some old things and I'd come across my photo albums. I started flipping through them as we always do, and I came across a picture of a bedroom window that was in Pennsylvania right after I got married. Instantly it brought me back. And I remember the way that the sun had shone through the window, and it was in the window was the cross that we were given by our parents for a wedding gift. So it sat there. And it cast a shadow on the opposite wall, but when you looked out the window, there was a valley, 500 acres of just pure, pristine white. It was a summer camp that we had moved for my ex-wife, and just pure crystal white glistened everywhere. It truly seemed as though heaven was with us. Our honeymoon was over long before it ever even had the chance to begin, because we were two young lovers who were bright-eyed and foolish, and we were ready to take on the world together, yet it never seemed like we were on anyone's side but our own. Bright-eyed and foolish, it was more like blinded by selfishness. We had gotten married in December, and we'd moved on New Year's Day, and we were in that home, if you could call it that, for less than 3 months. In fact, we'd actually moved back before St. Patrick's Day. And each day, that window was so bright that the ray of light just shone through this ominous silhouette of the cross of the opposite fucking wall. And each day, it seemed to draw this increasingly clear breath that the marriage between us was a mistake, because neither one of us were willing to give an inch. That was 10 years ago. So the other day I came across a picture of that window in a box that I was packing, complete with that shadow of the casted cross on the opposite wall. And I could still see that snow-covered valley, and I could even hear that faint sound of heaven's call. And it was such a perfect scene. Why weren't we?
Yeah.
Before the numbers, I see an 8.7, an 8.7,
Okay.
an 8.8, an
Okay.
8.1, and an 8.
All right.
While that's getting tied up, I'm going to finish telling you about membership. It's been stretched out between 3 things. So we have things like member meetups where we do fun stuff, member workshops, and access to our free members Discord. Well, I mean, the membership, you pay for the membership, but the members Discord where you can chat with other people about. Am I slamming here? I'm so nervous.
25.5.
25.5. The next reader in the slam is Lucas Samuel. Anytime I visit a restaurant, if I can't sit with my back against the wall, I sit so that I can see at least one door, maybe an exit or two. It's a practice that's been trained in me for years, since I was in elementary school. All my classmates drilled in us every few months when an administrator or a teacher or someone somewhere said, oh, we ought to do one of those. I saw something on the news yesterday. We should do one of those. Lockdown. Be quiet. Don't talk about it. Just make sure you know where your escape routes are. The escape routes to the good guys. You know, the good guys with guns. A routine practice of life for an entire generation. We relate to our grandfathers who sweated in molten Vietnamese jungles, and we relate to our uncles who patrolled unknown Iraqi villages, all because we have the audacity to attend Algebra 2. I'm no fan of math class, but I'd rather learn how to factor quadrinomials than learn how to decipher if the bullets are coming at you or away from you. But what do you do when even through a parade of hundreds of good guys with plenty of guns and your training still fails you? A bad guy with a gun and your training still fails you. Maybe you'll get lucky. Maybe the nurses will pick green and orange confetti out of your hair in the hospital while you stare back at a good guy with a gun and ask, where's my best friend? Where's my wife? Where's my father? Where's my son? Where's my sister? And he will tell you, they didn't make it. And you will cry, well, where were you? And he will say with black leather and unfired black steel on his hip, I was right there. You can let him know, so was I. So, I will continue to sit with my back against the wall anytime I visit a restaurant, along with everyone else from my generation who is lucky enough to make it this far, past high school, and we will point at the news and ask the old barflies, do you people fucking get it now?
Yeah.
The ceiling soars. 9.3,
Yeah.
9.3,
Let's go.
9.1,
Yeah.
8.1,
Huh?
9.
All
It's fine,
right.
let the judges know what you think. Judges, stay strong. We'll let them know. Well, that's getting tallied up. Oh man, what should I talk about next? I mentioned the website, but I'm going to tell you more about the website because I'm going to think of talking about. So the website, we got all kinds of cool stuff there. You can become a member on the website. Do it online. Super cool. If you do that, you can't get your t-shirt immediately though. So yeah, just let us know. We'll give it to you for next event, or we can mail it to you if we do it that way.
27.4.
27.4. The final reader in the first round of this poetry slam is Elle.
Answers to one question. A simple answer, fuck you. A technical answer, think plant or animal. Throw that away. No, neither. Mushrooms, fungi, a whole new organism. An abstract answer. How to define a single point in all of space, all of X and Y. I'm throughout those seas of atoms, reverberating. A poetic answer. Liminality, that empty mall clears out. I walk through it sometimes, knowing one day something else will take its place. But for now, my footsteps echo. The honest answer. I wish I knew that for myself.
Yeah.
Scores. 8.3, 9.0, 8.5, 6.8.
Huh?
What?
I'm sorry, what?
Hold that down.
Flip it around.
8.7. Yeah, let's see the first round. So our judge is going to tally things up. Our scorekeeper is going to tally things up. Let me know who's moving on to the next round. 6 folks will move on. I'm going to get the order from them. They're going to be positioned highest to lowest. So your first person is going to be the highest score of this last round, all the way down. And we're going to have one more round after that. Needs a little more time for that. So I'm going to tell you about a very, very exciting thing. We're not having an open mic next month. Reason is we have a different event going on. We're going to be at the Orion Amphitheater for our 10-year anniversary.
Yeah.
We're doing this 10 years. It's been a while, Orion, and it's been great. So we kind of got like an all-star cast of poets who are going to do features, including Alabama Poet Laureate Ashley Jones.
Yeah.
So that's pretty cool. We got some stars showing up. The only downside is it's not free. So it's a $5 ticket. Very, very easy to handle a $5 ticket, right? And if it's not, like, talk to me, maybe we can. Is there a.
You're doing great.
Oh, okay, I thought someone was communicating with me. Okay, more time, right? So, we prefer for you to buy those in advance, but we know a lot of people in the room are last minute people. I'm a last minute person myself. So, we got a special deal for you. If you buy a ticket online today, while you're here, and show our merch booth worker that you have a ticket purchased, you get a free sticker from us. That's a $3 value right there. That's almost a whole other ticket. Now, there might be a fee for getting your ticket online. I don't know about that, but if you buy it in person, there is no fee. Okay. Next round is going to proceed in this order. Are you ready?
Yeah.
Jason, Lucas Samuel, Vander, Timothy, L, Susan.
Yeah.
So with that done with, you go ahead and clap.
Yeah.
Let's proceed to that second round, shall we? Jason, you're up.
Yeah.
When I was a little kid, I wanted to be an astronaut. I read every book on space I could. I learned there are footprints on the moon that will never be eroded. With no wind, no rain, nothing but sunshine to wear them away, they could be there forever. The last time I saw my grandmother, she didn't know my name. Wouldn't hold my hand, barely spoke to me at all. Dementia's velvet nothing had wiped me from her mind like so much chalk after a lecture. Put out cigarettes on every family photo. But there are footprints on the moon that will never be eroded. My father is 63 this year, and already I see how his memory hides from him, how he loses things, forgets, how he'll tell me the same stories about childhood friends over and over, how I let him. Their fingerprints are pressed into his heart. I'm not ready for him to hear those stories from me like they're new. Like he's a character for the dime store novels he hides from my grandmother because there are footprints on the moon that have never been eroded, so I spend everything I got making myself a story worth telling, a character worth writing, a moment worth the memory. There are footprints on the moon, and history remembers the men who made them, hardly mentions the kids like my father, his nose pressed against my grandmother's TV. When my father forgets himself, who will remember him? When he's gone like my grandmother, what will prove he was ever here? I stay up late some nights just to get a little more moonlight on my skin. Catch a little more of the reflection off those footprints in my teeth, like that permanence could rub off on me. Stop me from becoming the dust in which other men make their mark, and people tell me to shoot for the moon. Like someone has beaten me to it. My footprints are in sand on beaches on a planet with 2 high tides a day, but there are footprints on the moon that have never been eroded. And maybe that's why I always wanted to be an astronaut, why I went around leaving tread marks everywhere. I can. Maybe if I press my fingers into enough hearts, write enough stories, if I leave enough parts of myself lying around, then when dementia comes marching around my body, looking at my skull like the walls of Jericho, there will be something left to prove I was here.
For some numbers, let's see, a 9.5, a 10,
Woo!
a 9.8, a 9.8, and a 9.8. It's going to be a really cool event. I'm going to keep telling you about it. We're really fucking excited about this event. 10 years, we got the amphitheater. We're going to have like an all-star cast. It's going to be awesome.
29.4.
29.4. Your next year in round 2, Lucas Samuel. taught us in school, save 30% to spend on your rent. I know I only passed pre-calculus, but there were some variables they forgot about for us. Does anyone know who's hiring? Have you seen this year's Help Wanted art sign wall? They're putting it under the new Sky Bridge. Sometimes it feels like I can't even afford to talk, as if every word I'll be met with a screen asking for a tip and a digital ka-ching. Why does it feel like we've already lost it all? All for one, but only one for all of y'all. The good news is the bad news is free. Download this app, doom scroll for an hour, and they'll plant a tree. Late stage capitalism meets new age I just want to survivism. What is new age I just want to survivism? Hell if I know. But when I figure it out, I won't tell any of you poor saps. I'll sell the information to the highest bidder and secure my financial future for at least one presidential term. And after that, I'll have to come up with something else. Do you think Congress people get a discount on their meds for dementia? Oh, their plans for economic reformation they forgot to mention, but they'll always remember their pension. They forgot they were one of you. They're playing us all for fools while they've got the country by the balls. The system has failed you. There's no worthy rhyme for that last line. I'd like to tell you we should design a new one, but the truth is we can't afford it. No matter who you are, there's a comfort for no one. When I get paid enough, I'll be all for it. In the meantime, let's go smoke or something, because that's all I can afford to do at this point.
Yeah!
8.9,
Okay.
9.1,
Yeah.
8.9,
Yeah.
8.0,
What?
9.2.
Yeah.
Alright.
That's better.
So tonight we'll see here.
Cut 'em off. Just cut 'em.
26.9.
26.9. Next round, two reader. Vanguard.
You know, with some of the things that I've seen in life, I will always break bread free. I don't care if you're a fucking escaped inmate from the state pen on a great frenzy. Because I've known a few, and they make some great friends, see? An extension cord can never match the way they make ends meet. So let me take this seat and share a story about two unlawful citizens who had fallen victim to false accusations and wrongful imprisonment. It is the prime example of how the best people can be put in awful positions, but even more so how they're running from their problems, they lost their innocence. Because you see, what is normal for the spider is chaos for the fly. This is an unspoken law, but it can pretty much always be applied. And from a young age I knew this. And that's why all I do is show love and go about my days just trying to prove this. Even if I knew it could kill me, like the Son of God and Judas. But the three of us were an accidental cluster. I wasn't always welcome on their block, so they acted as a buffer for this kid with no sense of belonging, being the only child from a distracted mother. But I had perfect sight. I felt Superman. 2020 was a true condition. But self-awareness was my kryptonite because I had no supervision. You see, we used to kick it at this laundromat. There was a liquor store connected on a small lot with a pawn shop in the back. And there were all kinds of people that would stop and chat. But you couldn't put nothing down or somebody would pocket that. And trying to find the culprit was harder than pinpointing a shark attack. And I lost a jacket, a couple lunch boxes when moms were packing, a starter pack of Pokemon cards with some holographics and a bunch of broken clothes in the laundry basket, a monster hat, and a Starbucks Frappuccino with all the add-ins. I mean, it was just like the first time that I saw Aladdin. It was a whole new world. And this all would happen in about a week. I mean, y'all been to one before. You know how it be. It's the only store with no co-workers or any sort of faculty. People just walk up in there screaming like they just stepped out on a balcony. And one time I went just to go wash me a couple casualties. Shit got crazy. And I washed a couple casualties. Bah, 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 bah. Slow motion. I was frozen practically. And so close that blood splattered on my clothes. And tragically, both those that got shot were close casket. And so passively. It was bogus, actually. I'd never seen such evil that was just chosen actively. But there's hope there has to be. I rushed over to get chest concussions to get their throats open rapidly. But the bros just run up from the back of me. They start grabbing and pulling with such strong, unseen force. But the gravity of this moment was far more than anyone interacting. There was no distracting me. I was so absorbed that I didn't even know they were snapping me.
9.5.
Yeah.
So let's get tallied. I'm going to do my tallying point. So 1, 2, 3, my pen for 50.
Wow, wait. No!
That's one of them. Look, I'm showing you that I have friends who are willing to pick things up for me. I'm retiring.
28.3.
28.3.
Yeah.
Next year, on this open mic. That open mic. Slam. Timothy.
You came running into the bedroom and you jumped on the bed and you laid down next to me. I remember how tired you looked as I wiped your eyelookers away. Your breathing was shallow and your cheeks were sunken in. And you knew that something was wrong, but I didn't have the heart to tell you. The doctor had called right before you came into the room. Diagnosis: cancer. Inoperable. I told you, and you sat there for a moment, and you looked at me and you just smiled and you said, "That's okay, Daddy. You still love me, right? Because I still love you." You always amazed me at how truly wonderfully strong that you were, and yet you were so kind and peaceful to all the people who treated you. You were sweet and tender and the best friend that I never knew I needed. A best friend that stopped me from ending my own life, because the idea that if I walked out that door, you would wonder why I never came back. And I think there are a hell of a lot of things in this world, but I would never do something so cruel. You saved me when I was lost in the forest, when I was too scared to call out, when my voice was just a whisper and I was afraid that the dark would hear me and find me. When the dark was swallowing me whole, you came running to me so eager and excited, sloppy wet kisses all over my face. And you never gave up on me. And I'm so grateful that you were my friend. You died on a Saturday. And I can still feel your head laying on my lap, looking up at me and smiling. You will always be my best friend.
I'm just going to be silent for a second. 9.0, 9.8,
Yeah, yeah.
9.7,
Yeah.
7.7.
What? No!
9.0.
You're doing great.
Silly Pinterest. Pretty inappropriate. We'll wait on that score there. I'm really glad we're doing a slam again. You did great. Hope you guys are liking them too.
27.7.
27.7. Next up is L.
Interruptions. Matriarchs preach you their words to butcher something inside me. The force-fed line, you'll be a wonderful mother, and I can only choke. But I don't want to be. I practice my responses and expect there to be discussed whenever a well-meaning woman. So when are you having kids? My words are labored. It is not happening. Trapped between cooing mothers, waiting till the doctor sees me. She shows me a pamphlet. There are a few options. I reach down my throat. I want a permanent solution. Seconds before surgery, when I'm alone on the wheeling cot, one woman nurse asks, "Are you sure about this?" My spit-shined answer, "Absolutely." Now there are 2 dashes on my abdomen. Reminders of when they interrupt. You'll change your mind. Reminders for me to interrupt. I've made my decision.
Yeah.
For those numbers. 8.9, 9.6, 8.5, 9.3, and 9.1.
27.3.
27.3. Final reader round 2, Susan.
Yeah. Aww.
Saving earthworms. As an adult, I have moved 18 times. Only once across town, the rest across the country, which means I have experienced many landscapes, accents, and dirts. Yes, dirts. Black, red, sandy, loamy, singly clay, peat, I repeat, many, many cotton-loving dirts. All have one common thing, 17,000 possibilities of one thing. Worms. Robin food segmented. Worms of the earth, earthworms. Many know these magical, regenerating, annelidistic, annelidoid, ooey worms. They are little rolling gardeners, under-indestructible, earth-eating constructionists, breathing dirt, leaving castings, friendly enrichment, dust to dust, however. Rain washes them, some of the gardens some, and when I find them trying to dirt submerge, weird enough, in concrete, my blue bleeding heart must help. However, I hate to touch bugs, worms, spores, spiders, and the like, but respect their ordered place. Toilet paper ladders for spiders falling in the bathtub, for example, and the picking up of the earthworm fallen on hard concrete rain times. However, I can barely stand to pick them up, and it doesn't help that they go immediately berserk. Some have squirmed their way to fall several feet to worm concussions. However, can they survive the fall, or the soon-to-swoop feathered seeker? So freaked and trying to hold the worm flipping in violent frenzy, I oohing up the drive to the garden to loosen earth mud salvation. It's weird to me to bury the living tube. And it takes a minute for the squirm worm to stop flipping dirt, but eventually I calm, it calms, and we go our separate ways. Paying down the universal karmic debt almost always helps another, never known, and on the other side of the world. However, in this case, I got to touch the one that helps me.
Yeah.
Cool with other bugs though. 8.9, 9.6,
Yeah.
8.9, 9.0, and 9.5. We're 2 rounds in, there's only 1 round remaining. Only 4 points in that last round. So while our scorekeeper's doing some tallying, we're going to do something a little special. I mentioned that we have a donation bucket. So Kimberly's going to walk around and like carry this bucket around. If you want to put something in it, put something in it.
It's
If you
going
don't,
to be
just
really
say no.
awkward
She's
if
nice.
you don't.
Gonna stand here.
Am I just going to be awkward at your table? We do take coins. You got that little coin pocket in your bag. You're like, you never empty that thing out. Good chance. Walk out of here a little bit lighter.
I'm coming. I'm so sorry. I'm in hide demand.
we're doing, but to buy some more time and build the suspense, can you guys give me a drum roll for our last round? Going into the final round, we have this order: Jason, Vander, Lucas, Samuel, Timothy. Let's get started then.
It's a dinner plate, suspended 4 1/2 feet above the linoleum. Frozen, all you can do is stare and idly calculate about impact and entropy. Until it is 3 years ago in a borrowed dorm room, and you can see your mother's open palm hanging 5 1/4 feet above the hardwood. Your cheek tenses in deja vu, but relaxes when you turn to see your bedroom window where your 9-year-old brother straddles the sill, telling you how the concrete might kiss him like his mother doesn't. When you look down, he's hugging your waist. In church parking lots, 145 miles apart, you're watching your mother both run away from and stop towards you, and you don't know which is worse, so you stare and idly calculate about impacts and entropy. Fact. Entropy is just a measure of disorder and multiplicity. There are a number of ways a situation can be different, but fundamentally the same. The second law of thermodynamics is supposed to be complicated. You understand it intuitively, know intimately how entropy seeks its maximum, have seen time go forward and loop around, backstitching multiplicities into your calendar, irreversible. They're all cruel jokes with no punchline. How is a raven like a writing desk? How is your brother like a dinner plate? How is a cabinet like a window, like a parking lot? How is your mother like a mother? Fact. Negative absolute temperature is a bizarre concept, describing an object which, in its entropic unforstability, will force its energy into any nearby system. It has never been a stranger to you. Your mother exists at a negative absolute temperature, cannot stop chasing stability down black holes from which only rage and confusion can escape. And there's stochastic cruelty. Her moods could force their energy upon anything. Even the sun, even her suns, even if somehow you could take every year in her frozen hellscape, compress it to a second of near infinite heat, it will never be enough. You will never be enough. You will never stop seeing things as they were 100 times before, hanging in a moment, suspended in sunbeams like motes of dust, kept afloat by their heat, frozen to the observer. Observe her. Phantom in the shadow, you cannot stop casting. You are not the perfect insulator. You cannot absorb her heat forever. Fact. The second law of thermodynamics applies only to isolated systems. How fortunate, then, that it is you, that your multiplicities may increase without bound, may increase without bound, may increase without bound. You are bound to her backstitching dinner plates into your memories, and you have never felt more isolated than when you realize you can only speak your mind in rooms full of strangers.
Oh. Yeah!
See the numbers, you know. 9.8.
Let's go.
9.6.
Yeah.
A 10.
Yeah.
A 9.2 and
yeah. Woo! Those are good numbers. I respect those numbers.
29.4.
29.4.
I am in a state of awe infinitely with the thought that I exist. But there is something that I always get stuck with. Essentially, it's pick the right religion or else. And I'm like, why though? You know, whose life is this? Because society itself was brought to us by men. And when we don't understand, we get pushed to receive guidances. But how am I to be punished for what my mind presents with a biased collective of what guidance is? Like, oh, really, whose life is this? I've decided it's unanimous. an agreed-upon standard of order with the grip of law they hand to us. The inception of our culture was born of privacy, but they keep us on cameras. Now, see, I thought it was supposed to be we the people, but their point of view is to control our advantages, and I'm just trying to mind my business. But I'm disrespected by those with such a fine, fine image. But if they so picture perfect, well, they want to find my blemish. See, I've always been the black sheep, so it's bye-bye, bitches. 'Cause when I point them out, they be keeping quiet. Like a drive-by witness, do not try my limits. And if you're among the people that are testing the peace of mind, all I need is like 5 minutes. That timeline's quick, but soon I meet y'all's pressure with all my wits. That conflict will settle in seas. It'll give it that calm tide feel. So I walk right in to see all my energy is stars minds. Victory is all mine. The enemies I call my friends. My life's like a symphony. I've got 100 different ends, and my direction's in symmetry. But this is my declaration. To expose our dependence on administration, so let's investigate. Let me ask y'all a question. Y'all don't think life is just a game? Because, I mean, the money system itself will give you two options. You're either oppressed or play. And I really feel it was meant this way. Y'all know what else I think is crazy? That depending on the country, it depicts how they demonstrate. And upon your existence, you are expected to participate. And we all just accept the fate. Like, how are we just born and then already got debts to pay? And it doesn't even have any value. It's just a faith, right? And this faith, it carries us through life, but yet nothing's guaranteed, but you can expect some change. And then they somehow convince us that nothing is free. Not even peace. And it's quite sad. You see, Mother Nature sees this as a slight jab because we exploit it, abuse and destroy it to produce a nice fad. But every dollar spent is made from the same tree as the price tag? I don't buy that. But, you know, I'm not a communist, socialist, activist even. There isn't you can attach to. Mother Nature is the spirit of life, and how we treat it is like blasphemy. Because see, we go to wars over the nature of God, but I see God in nature, actually. Because, I mean, religion aside, how do you not look at nature and see intellectual design? But then how do you even define intelligence? Or the importance of life? So even that we force inside a box and try to portion its type. For example, I bet at least one of you has seen a bug and was just like, just crushed it. For no reason other than it just being a bug. Doing bug shit. Now, if that's not double standard, then I don't know what one could be. Because if that's the case, why am I the bad person for doing the same shit when somebody's bugging me? Great sex, but of course latex. I'm coming clean. There's a lot of things adopted by the culture that have just done to me. Like proper guidance, the reluctancy. They decide what's in our best interest, and we just got to trust it. Now that's a small price for more rights, but look at how they adjust the fee. Because it's a parent they foster who owns it, and we gave birth to its custody.
Yeah. I've seen some numbers. We got a 9.8, a 9.8, a 9.9, an 8.8, a 10. You got to let them know. This is to let them know.
Yes.
All right. Let's get to how they were about to call the next person. I'm getting ahead of it. I'm so excited. All these amazing speakers up here.
There's -1 for time, which brings it to 28.5.
28.5. Next up, Lucas Samuel.
Dear Dad, it's your prodigal son who's come home, and still somehow your prodigal son. Yeah, and you know me, that you knew the name you called me. You knew the name that I went by for 18 years, but you do not know the name I go by now. You hear my friends call me it, you don't know what it means. It's your prodigal son, the one that you say finds you nothing but an annoyance now. That's true. How can you not be annoying when your voice has been yelled at me from the front and yelled at me inside my own head for the past 23 years? It's your prodigal son. A voice I remember, do your homework, get good grades, be the good Boy Scout. But a voice I also remember, yelling, "Why did you do that?" Calling the toys I brought home junk and then smashing those toys outside in the front yard when he got upset. Dear Dad, it is your prodigal son who has come home and still your prodigal son. I think it's time I leave again.
Yeah.
RSM scores, y'all are getting good at this. 9.7, 9.9,
Yeah.
8.9, 4.8.
What? I'm sorry, what?
9.7.
That's better.
Yeah, y'all let them know.
Yeah.
Yeah, I should prep some more things. I find myself standing up here again, just kind of like.
You're doing really
Is
good.
everybody doing later? Cool, I'm going home.
You got a 2-hour drive, my guy.
2 hours? Thank you for coming 2 hours.
Yeah.
Come back 2 hours.
28.3.
28.3. Last leader in the last round. Timothy.
Yeah.
So I'm 43 years old, and the human lifespan average for American males in the U.S. is 86. I'm halfway through my life. And for most of my life, I believed that I had depression. It actually took me until about now to figure out things that are wrong. Turns out I have ADHD and OCD. And it turns out that I've got some voices in my head, which we all do, but these ones aren't ones that want. But I've named them because they are the three pendejos, which is the three assholes. And I'd like to tell you about them because they have affected me for 42 of these 43 years. I want to talk to you about Cliff because he is the one who wants to go overboard. He's the catastrophizing master. He is the one who will always suggest self-harm, self-sabotage, or suicide. I got to know Cliff really well. Cliff only ever sees the clouds. He never sees the sun. He doesn't know anything else besides the idea that everything in life always will be the worst outcome. Fuck Cliff. And then there's Jeff. See, Jeff, he thinks what's the point? It's all a joke. He mocks effort, and he's the first one to point out all the things that I'm doing wrong. He's the first one to tell me how ugly I look. He always likes to make sure he knows how useless it is to ever try and change. Jeff says even if you manage to change A, B, or C, well, there's always going to be X, Y, and Z. Jeff is always about experiments. He has no belief or hope of any type. Jeff, there's no future whatsoever. Fuck Jeff. Now last there's Biff, and Biff is the bully. And for Biff, he likes to make sure he knows how weird I am, how awkward I am, how I see all my flaws before anything else, how I'm not good enough, or how no one would ever pick me or love me, how I'm the last option if I was ever even picked at all. See, Biff likes to make sure that I picture all the horrible things about the desires of my heart and he twists them until they are painfully rotten images sadistic enough to make me cry. I've spent nights crying. Biff takes the things you love and turns them into nightmares. He rubs in your face all the things that you've lost and makes sure that you know you've lost them because you weren't good enough. Biff is the one who tells you not only are you foolish for wanting something to be happy, but that the only way you could actually be happy is by doing the wrong thing because the wrong thing sometimes feels very powerful. And the truth is, Biff uses the illusion of power and control when Biff is really just controlled by self-hatred. Fuck Biff. You see, all these things are just constructs. They can never choose, they can only repeat. And what they can only do is embrace lying because they're true liars. They only say, I say true liars because they only say the truth that they know is a lie. But I know that I can choose. I know now that I've found the idea of what my enemies are, that I can find hope and I can choose belief and I can choose to keep moving forward because they are always going to tell me that I can't go anywhere but right here. And for the first time in 43 years, I finally see that there's somewhere else I can go.
Yeah.
Seeing some scores. I see an 8.9.
Yeah.
I see a 10.
Yeah.
I see a 9.1.
Yeah.
I see an 8.5 and an 8.9.
All right.
Y'all, it's going to be a lot of tallying that happens right now because that's the last person.
Yeah.
So we're going to sit here and we're going to wait until we have the results. I'm going to remind you guys that if you're in the top 3, you're invited to a bigger event that is not with us. So please hang around so we can get your info. And if you're the number 1, well, you got $50. We're going to have to pay $1 info for that. So, yeah, how's everybody doing? Yeah, good. Yeah. I hope you guys have. Oh man, I see some people I haven't seen in a while. Hey Christy, how you doing? Sometimes we eat lunch together on Mondays. We both work at UIH. You know, in the cafeteria, it's great. Y'all don't want to know about all this, but you don't have to anymore because I got a piece of paper coming to me right now. Shall we start with 1 or with 3?
3.
Okay. Just checking. You guys are reasonable. In 3rd place, Lucas Samuel.
Yeah.
In 2nd place, Vander. And in 1st place, Jason. Those are all facts from my great hosting. Don't do that. Stop. Okay, well, let me tell you about a couple more things before we close out. We're normally here every 3rd Sunday. Reminder, we will not be here next month because we will be at the Orion Amphitheater. Tickets are available online. You can check our website. You can also buy them in person at the box office. If you buy a ticket tonight and show it to Kimberly before you leave, you can get a free sticker from us. That's a pretty high value right there. Tickets are $5. It's going to be an awesome event. Hope to see you guys there. And if you're not there, well, we're back here the Sunday after that in May. In May.
3rd Sunday.
Third Sunday of every month except for next month. We will see you again. Thank you so much. Be sure to tip your bartender on your way out. You know, maybe take your glasses up there and stuff. It's really nice. We like to help them out when we can. That's all I want. Y'all have a good night. Get on